everyone.
Are we there yet? Where are we going, Roundhouse?
Roundhouse can't spell.
You are correct.
Or at least doesn't know how to use proper grammar.
No, it's like, hey. Gotta know which one to use.
Wait, really? There are two hays? Yes, I'm joking. Although that's not quite as confusing. Hello, Edgar. Hope you're well. Okay.
Hello, Edgar. So how's your day been?
Kind of tired, but I'm good. Sorry, go on.
Just being way too busy playing with fish.
Huh. Yeah, well, that'll take up your time. I'm stuffed.
Okay, send the food this way.
Oh my gosh. I had some kalbi, which is beef short rib, Korean beef short ribs. They were good. Oh, that was so nice.
We're going to have to find a good restaurant in Dallas. Pygmy sunfish.
Are you paying?
If I have enough money.
I was half joking. Pygmy sunfish tomorrow. Ooh, yay. Scott, how are you? Hope you are well.
Howdy, Scott.
Okay, I don't know why. It says that there's only one person, now two, in here. Which seems odd. But hey,
there are two. There are two, you and me.
Ha ha, you're so funny. What is he talking about? Like, I never know what he's talking about, but what is he talking about this time? Is he talking about cop watchers? Sorry, I'm done.
Yes. There is a guy named James who's not all together, and it would be like having a pervert troll in your stream who hits on every single girl and just keeps going, even when the girl says, I'm married, I have a husband, I have kids, and he just won't stop. Luckily, he doesn't know I'm a girl. And no matter what you say to him, he doesn't get it.
Okay, and two questions. Why is Roundhouse spelling your name incorrectly? And two, why does he say he might be in jail?
Probably because he's like everybody else in the stream is bugging James. But it's like, James has a one-track mind, and no matter how many times you tell him that this stream is not a dating stream, leave the women alone, it's like, do you want to be my girlfriend? You want to get married? And wow, he actually got pissed. I mean, I know he gets weird sometimes and just leaves, but wow.
But why does he say I might be in jail?
Because he's Roundhouse and he's making rude comments.
Good point.
Oh.
Apparently, soft watcher. No clue what they're talking about.
Scott, James is a pervert on a channel that Roundhouse and I watch. They're cop watchers. And he's just a pest troll. I don't know why they continue to have him on the stream, but he's just a pest to women.
Yeah, I know. Took me a second there, Scott. How are you tonight? How have you been? I already said that I'm fat and happy, so you know.
Water changes. You know, I think we do way too many water changes because everybody seems to be changing water. And on a different subject, Scott, how's your kitty doing? That's a beautiful cat.
When did you see it?
On one of his streams. It's on. I even put it on his shout out because it's a beautiful kitty.
Nice.
As you can see, the fish are swimming around nicely. I actually am going to probably do a shout out to Select Aquatics. Okay, I'm doing a shout out to Select Aquatics because 2-day treatment and the Derek, the camellianus worms appear to be gone after a 2-day treatment. I will treat them again in 2 to 3 weeks. So I'm pretty happy with that. And other than that, I have a very lethargic Oscar, and I'm not sure why. Hey, J-Rock, nice to see you.
My internet. Oh, there we go. I think partially because I'm streaming, but internet is crawling, or at least very slow when I am streaming. Hey, Steven.
What's up, Jay? How come it's been a rough day?
Oh, jeez. Hey, GRB.
Oh, sorry to hear that, Jay. Hello, GRB. Any idea why? I hate when that happens.
Yeah, what happened, J-Rock? Although, if I remember correctly, I think that happened to Jeffrey because he went outside to talk to his father while smoking, I think, and didn't put in the chlorinator. I'm sorry, J-Rock. That sucks.
I know, I just realized that I ordered, I think, 16 fish, all for the same tank. It is 60 gallons, but I'm going to add them a week at a time, so some will quarantine a bit longer than others.
Aren't you
And
getting
I
them all
guess,
from the same place?
yeah, they're all coming from Jadron, but they're all for the same tank.
So then why do you need to quarantine them separately? That's my question. They're all coming from the same person.
No, because I have to add them to the tank in batches rather than dump 16 fish into a tank at the same time.
Are there any other fish in there?
Yeah, the tinfoil, 4 black skirt tetras, and 8 Daniel.
I might increase the amount of food you're adding to the water or to the tank. That might help as well. Because then it has to use a little bit of a larger biological a larger bioload.
I have a canister filter. I think it's a Fluval 306 that I can't seem to get to work. But I know you can turn them into a sort of like a sump, but filled with media stuff. So I may try that and just give it more filter type stuff. Because it'll be the second most heavily stocked tank I have. This one right here is the most heavily stocked I have now.
Oh. I guess Vinny's ended. Actually, he ended early. He ended 45 minutes ago. Huh. That I'm a little bit surprised about. I can imagine, J-Rock. I'm sorry. Didn't you have a party? A birthday party today? How'd it go? Or no, wait, you had it. When was your birthday? Was no, I'm blinking. Last Friday, a week ago, right? So you got him a week ago, if I remember correctly. I'm trying to think of the timeline. I don't. Clearly, I have no idea. Because I thought I know it was his, but I forget when exactly. I thought it was last Friday, but I could be wrong. Surprised it took that long for the ammonia buildup, but okay.
Apple juice is usually sweeter and has more sugar than apple cider.
Okay then. I swear I would lose my head if it wasn't screwed on. Jiminy Crickets. Ugh.
My head is bolted on. I can't lose it.
Well, that's good. Because I sure as heck can. Oh, just. Well, I'm always losing things, but. Oh, wow. Yeah, that would work. Oh, just something for my art projects. Actually, two things. I feel like I'm always losing things, though. Well, yeah, kind of. Actually, this is pretty clean.
I would say my room is a mess, but I don't have any room to have a mess.
You don't have any room to have a mess. Huh?
Between the dressers and the stands and the tanks on top, I have no room to make a mess. Because if I put things on top of the fish tanks, they could melt or fall in the fish tanks. So I have no room for a mess.
They could melt.
It's always okay if guys have a messy room. You should see the guys here. I don't go in their rooms. It's too scary.
Um. Hey, Shanna. Well, that and the thing that I'm missing is clear, so that doesn't help.
I'm okay. It's not missing. I put my Gemco, I think it's called a Gemco, the air pump in a safe place. And I haven't found the safe place yet. But I'm getting to the point where I just don't have enough air pumps, and I don't want to buy any more separate air pumps because every single air pump needs its own plug. And I just want to plug one big one in instead of a million little ones.
Yeah, that's me too. I like to be able to do that. But yeah, it's clear, one of the, or it's kind of clear. It's got a grid, but it's basically a big old plastic sheet that I can use to stamp. And I can't find it. Of course, I only had it for a day or two.
It's there somewhere.
Oh, and I think this is more because of my vision and not because of my message.
Actually, Roundhouse, what I was seriously thinking of doing is cutting out the floor in my bedroom and taking advantage of the 4 feet cement slab basement below me. It has cement walls, and I'm echoing for some reason. It has cement walls, and I could put the foam insulation on it and not have to worry about soaking the carpet and having a giant 3x3 box fan blowing for 4 days to dry the carpet.
What is Roundhouse saying by, oh, and they can't drive? I think he's talking about me, but I'm confused.
No, he's talking about the fact that women can't drive, and that's a bunch of baloney.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yuck carpet. I'm about to start, like, cutting pieces out of it. Because I figure, like, if I get around to moving a fish tank, I'll just cut the carpet out from underneath it. Because there's really nice linoleum underneath this carpet from before when my dad decided to sell the house. He put carpet in this bedroom because bedrooms are supposed to have carpets, and it's much easier to clean a linoleum floor to keep it warmer, so you're not stepping onto a cold floor.
How would having, or how would it help? Because I don't think you go vertical, do you?
I could go vertical because I could make a steps left. If I just cut out the middle to make stairs to go down, I could go downstairs and have fish downstairs and upstairs. Or maybe I'd just bring them all downstairs, and then I'd have shelves for junk. And I could put, like, I could have bins that say heaters. Of course, it would be empty. Then I could have another one that says filters and another one that says media. And I could try and arrange things. But every time I arrange things, then I need something and I take it out and it all gets unarranged. So that was probably not a good idea either.
So I got like 5 pieces for my for another project, and of course, I couldn't find them because they fell on the floor after like a few minutes. I didn't have it for that long. But Roundhouse, it's more my vision than anything. But just saying. He's saying you need good insulation to keep a bedroom warm.
Yeah, underneath there's about 1.5 feet of insulation under the floor. Because this is a mobile home on a permanent foundation. And I told my dad, wow, we can get it turned into a house. But he already did that. So
What do you mean
it's
he already turned?
You can go to the county and have a mobile home turned into a house, so you don't have to pay yearly registration on a mobile home.
Oh.
But it has to be like on a permanent foundation, and it's complicated, but luckily it's already done. Derek, carpet does do something. It collects dirt and dust. Oh, you don't want to ask Kevin what he ate for dinner. Then you'll be starving, Shauna.
What about
For
you?
dinner, I had barbecue chicken and coleslaw, and that was actually lunch. So in about 3 hours, I'll eat dinner. Ooh, that sounds good, Roundhouse. I'm having roast beef au jus sandwiches tomorrow, and with like an inch or 2 inches stacked of meat. Hey, she went away. Come back. Oh, that looks good.
Making stuffed mushrooms.
One second. Shanna, one more time.
Yes. Oh.
Ooh, nice. You made them?
Yeah.
Nice.
I did. It's just portobello mushroom with some spinach and some cheese, and then I put a little bit of salt on it. And then I cook it in the oven or on the grill, but we're out of gas for the griddle thing. So it's going in the oven at 425 for 20 minutes or until the cheese is melted.
Nice.
So I really do want to know what you eat for dinner because I'm already starving. Shocker. I'm always starving.
So am I. I had Korean short ribs, kalbi, for dinner.
Oh, yum. I don't know, because those are the little ones on the bone, right?
All you can eat. Little ones? What do you mean by little?
I thought that they were like under 6 inches. As opposed to like the big giant dinosaur looking ones.
I mean, they're not huge, but they're also not that small.
Roundhouse, it's guys who don't know measurements, not women. We always know. our measurements, or I should say, we always know how many inches everything is.
See, and that's partially because of my vision. I don't look at those things. But that is Colby.
Oh,
Not the best
yum.
picture. But that's Colby. So I don't know what you consider small.
Yeah, so if you take your hand and just spread your fingers out, it's less than the tip of your pinky to the tip of your thumb.
No, it's about there. But my paws are also pretty big.
I kind of have big hands too. As I did that, I'm pretty sure that's more like 7 or 8 inches. I'm good at spotting the difference between 6, 7, and 8.
Most women are.
Very true. Very true. One time I went on a
But yeah,
blind date
that's it.
and I had talked to the guy ahead of time and he's like, I'm 6'2". Now I'm not short. I'm 5'8", but I'm not like freakishly tall. And I show up to the date and I'm looking down at him and I'm like, you are a flippin' moron. What is wrong with you? Did you think I wouldn't notice that you're a half a foot shorter than you said you were? Are you just a compulsive liar?
I love going places with my brother. He's 6'11", and
Yeah.
I'm 5'2". So, um,
I'm
it's like
5'3".
your brother, and they're just like looking up, and I'll tell you, he'd be rich because we haven't ever been anywhere where someone hasn't asked him how tall he is. And it's like, he said, I gave up on the smart remarks. It's just sort of like, yeah, I'm tall. What about it?
Why, thank you for your unique observation. Nobody's ever noticed that I'm tall before.
Hello, Vinoxky.
What up, Z? What you working on, Kevin?
Well, I'd like to be able to make some swatches, but I can't do that because I don't have anything stamp block that's big enough to stamp. So, and the one that I'd like to get for it is $100.
Oh, snap. That's not nothing.
Yeah, I know.
So
That's
people
hilarious.
people don't put the measuring tape on the door right. That was the best comment that my brother ever got as we were walking out of the store, and one girl turns to the other girl and said, oh my God, he's taller than the measurements on the door. That was the best.
Yeah, at 6'11", I imagine he's ducking to get outdoors.
Yeah, sure, Roundhouse. I need to try and find a tripod, or I want to get something for Oktoberfest and I'm gonna get my tickets on Monday for Oktoberfest, but
Awesome.
I don't know why I can't find, or tomorrow or Monday. But I want to get, since I'm going to all these shows and stuff, I really want to get something like a stabilizer because I get such a headache when I watch videos and they're really shaky.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm
What
trying
about
to
a
find it.
gimbal?
Sure. But I'm wondering if this would work. Because I haven't found a gimbal that's not like over, or that's good. Usually they're like $100, or how much? Yeah, about 100 or two for a gimbal. But I see this one, and I'm wondering if this one would work. But I'm debating whether I want to get it or not. I might just try it out and see if it works.
For some reason, it's just showing. Oh, there we go. What the French toast is that?
Apparently, it's a gimbal.
I don't even think I know what a gimbal looks like.
You've never even heard of a gimbal?
No, I've heard of them. I know what they're for, but I don't know that I've ever actually seen one.
These are gimbals. These are gimbals.
Okay. I guess I always kind of imagined it as like a short selfie stick, which is sort of what that looks like.
This is 100. Well, so that's why I was thinking about getting not this one. That other one that I showed, where is it? God, my internet is bad. I think it was this one. Yeah. That's why I was thinking of getting this one, because it's 3-in-1. It says it's a selfie stick, a tripod, and it can also be, or it's a gimbal, selfie stick, and a tripod.
Oh,
but I don't know.
Interesting. And how much is it?
36.
Oh, not as good as a gimbal.
What do you mean?
When stuff's that much cheaper, it's never as good.
Well, but it is a gimbal. It's just probably a cheap gimbal. So I'm confused what you mean by probably not as good as a gimbal.
Well, if normally they're $100 to $200, and you found a $36 version, it's not going to be as good as the $100 to $200 one.
Well, of course.
Just like those $20 underwater sport cameras versus a $100 or $200 underwater camera.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just need to figure out which one I want to buy. Because I definitely want one. Because I definitely want one for all of the travels that we go on, and also for Fishtoberfest.
I'm so excited I get to meet you at Fishtoberfest.
Same here.
We gonna have fun.
Okay, think of it this way. If you want it for all the trips you go on and everything, it's better to buy a good one than to buy a bunch of small ones. Buy one that breaks and then have to buy another one and another one and another one. It's better to buy one that will last. Especially since you go to Tahoe all the time and you go to Hawaii and you're going to the fish things. It's better to buy it once.
I figured out, because here's the thing. I've spent most of my life poor. I've had some money, but I've never had, that kind of money where you could stop working for 2 months and still be okay. So, it's always been pretty tight. And so there's a lot of stuff that I buy where I know I'm buying cheaper quality because, that is the best I can afford. But whatever your best you can afford is, it's worth spending that because you end up, like Poe was saying, and just replacing it over and over because they fall apart or it isn't functional for very long.
See, I thought I was smart. I've always bought really cheap heaters for my fish tanks that last over the winter and then they die. So I actually found some, the kind that start with the J, the haters, or maybe it was Higers. Anyway, I spent the money and I got two highly recommended, really good, large heaters for my two biggest fish tanks, and both of them broke. So this year, I'm going to be buying a couple cheap heaters to last the winter.
Yeah, that's true. I get so freaking tilted when I do drop a bunch of money on something because I'm like, I'm gonna buy a good one, and then it turns out to be shit like the others. Oh my gosh, I get a little bit snickety.
Well, that's why I was gonna buy a cheaper one just to see if I even like it.
See, I'm going even cheaper. I'm going to figure out a method, probably using foam and maybe a slinky for bouncing, to attach my phone to my scooter for Aquashella.
I'm trying to imagine how that would work, and I'm coming up a little short. I like the idea, though. I am a big fan. Around here, I call it redneck engineering. Normally involves duct tape.
Hey, sometime I had my favorite car in the world was a 68 Dodge Coronet, and I can't remember what the transmission was out of, but when we went underneath the car, the transmission bolt holes didn't line up with the engine, and they had used baling wire to put it together, and it was
Oh,
absolutely
God.
the best car I ever had. Jury rigging to the finest. Um, yeah, that was like the best jury rigging. I could not believe baling wire to mount a transmission to an engine. I mean, I'd never do something like that. Um, but that was like the best jury rigging job I ever saw in my life. But see, that's the advantage when you don't have money, is that you learn how to do really, really interesting jury riggings. Like I just found out I'm actually going to have to take the 125-gallon tank I have that leaks and take it all apart and basically rebuild it, because the guy who had it before me, when he started taking the silicon off on one side, he stuck the X-Acto knife or whatever all the way through and broke the seal. So it's not just like a weeping leak. And I don't know, I was listening to someone and they said, if that seal has been pierced, it's basically like building a whole new tank. Either that, or I'll set it up on its side, turn it into an awesome vivarium, and put a snake in it. Because I really want a ball python. That's a bit eating, Kevin.
What the hell are you doing?
Me?
Looking for something.
Yeah, you're like ass deep under your bed.
Oh, just getting a pump out. But since all of my fish supplies and everything is in here, and everywhere that I can, I have tanks. I don't have much storage space, so it's under the bed.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. But you realize your butt was just like hanging out all over the internet there, right?
What?
All we could see was your butt sticking out from under the bed on stream.
Okay.
I
Pull
would
your
not be
pants
okay with
up.
that.
Okay, Roundhouse. So it sounds like I have 125-gallon snake cage. Ah, or if I got pond lining, maybe I could make a mud skipper house or an axolotl, one of those things house.
Axolotl?
Yeah, one of those. Hey, yes.
Hey, how's Frankie doing, by the way, Shanna?
He's good. Chilling.
Okay, you now have a rare chance to observe the hyphen plecostomus, who is out of his cave.
I take it that doesn't happen very often. Hello, Elizabeth. Hey, Ian.
Elizabeth. Ian. What up,
Hey,
Ash?
Elizabeth. Hi, Ian.
I did not see any crack.
You're lucky. I edited a video, and I think actually his brother probably filmed his butt on purpose because that's about all you could see.
Oh, what a brat. What's up, Scott?
Wait, what?
We couldn't see the crack of your ass while you were hanging it out all over the internet, digging under your bed.
Okay, you can still see my dogs.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
Ian, yes, I'm going to the meeting tomorrow. Gotcha, Elizabeth.
Okay, I have a question for you, Ian. I've raised the lights over two of my tanks because the hair algae attacked and basically killed all my Java moss.
Mm.
So I have like two really, really, really huge sponge filters that you can now see all of them because the Java moss is all gone. Besides raising the lights, is there any way, and I've cut down on feeding, that I can help slow down the hair algae?
Peroxide.
No, these are inside. I recently had like this massive hair algae bloom in a lot of my tanks.
No, right. I'm saying that you can drain the water or lower the water and then spray the hair algae with peroxide. Hydrogen
Okay, that's a good
peroxide.
idea. Hello, Jenny.
Jenny Lynn. I've never heard it called a plumber's pocket. That's hilarious. Yeah, Roundhouse brings up a good point too. You could also do a blackout on the tank. But hair algae is one of those things that's just a real turkey.
Hey, Jenny Lynn. That or driving home, I would assume. Wait, so what are you worried about? Sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Hair algae.
Oh.
Well, typical hair algae. And I just went from my tanks all used to have a little bit of duckweed and a lot of water lettuce. And now they seem to have a lot of duckweed and not so much water lettuce. So how do I make the water lettuce grow more? And I just feed the duckweed to the cichlids. So I'm always taking that out. Don't you even think of being the fish family version of James, because you will get banned.
Roundhouse, I will put my foot so far up your ass you'll be tasting fucking flip flop.
Wait, what?
I like your attitude.
Hello, Holly.
I said, if Roundhouse tries to be a pervert troll, that I'll put my foot so far up his ass he'll be tasting my flip flop.
Roundhouse and I both we watch Cop Watchers, and there's a guy named James on the streams who is a total pervert, will not leave the women alone. He wants to marry everybody, and he's just a pain in the butt. And if it were my channel, I'd ban him because he drives me crazy and he doesn't even know I'm a woman.
Well, that's good. At least he doesn't know you're woman. Then that's when this fun really starts.
I don't know, I'm kind of funny. Like I'll take quite a bit of shit, but as soon as somebody starts going after somebody else, I get real fussy. I don't like that. Even Roundhouse wants to see him booted.
It just after, even in one stream, it just gets really, I don't know how to put it. I mean, it's like, oh, I love you. I want to marry you. Are you my girlfriend? And he doesn't even know these women. And it's just like, no, I'm married. And then the next woman comes in and it's like, oh, are you in love with me? Do you want to marry me? And it's just like, this is not a dating stream. You know, go somewhere else.
There's nothing less appealing than desperation. "44 Mag says, oh God, where's my bat costume? He needs to be banned from life."
When my son went to Afghanistan, his first tour, his wife decided to tell the kids that he was like Batman and was going off to help save another country. So now, even though I guess his oldest, she just turned 11, they still believe he's Batman. And somewhere underneath their house, is the Bat Cave.
Oh, that's hilarious. I need me a bat cave.
Well, hello, Freaky Fish Lady, and I'm glad you get your staples out in a few days. They're such a pain.
Staples?
Yeah, they don't always stitch people together anymore. Now they use literally a staple gun. I when I had my back surgery, they stapled me and I posted it on Facebook and I told my doctor and he said, "Oh, I hope that you put a picture of what it looked like afterwards, how
Lori?
nice a job I did, and didn't just leave people thinking that that's what you look like now."
Lori, did you see that?
Yeah, he has been reported. Hi, Priscilla. And what are you having for dinner?
And are you in LA right now then?
Priscilla wants to know who's out of line. Oh shoot, you guys!
Uh,
I got a scoop.
well, thank you for coming up. It was great talking to you. I love your attitude.
Thank you.
And enjoy that dinner. It looks lovely.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
starving.
yeah. Priscilla, it's somebody on another on cop watching streams who's just a pervert. Okay, Kevin, it's time to come back.
I'm here.
What, Scott? What is your kitty's name anyway?
Wait, Bap what? What is she breeding?
I don't know. She left to eat.
Olive Garden.
No, not Priscilla.
Priscilla's eating at Olive Garden. Oh, I had Holly, why did you need staples? I had 5 staples in my head. And then pulling it out was fun. It was like right here. Somebody threw a stick at my head. Don't ask why.
Those fish, those cichlids look like daffodils. get it. He's underneath the bed again, and he doesn't want us to get a butt shot. Well, thank you. This is one of my favorite and longest longest going tanks. All I have to do is find another really cool piece of driftwood to replace this because it's fake. But for the time being, it's better than not having, a line of sight break, hiding place type thing in there. So one more piece of wood and it'll be complete. And of course, it does have fake plants because these guys will just like eat them. When I put a handful of duckweed or water lettuce in, it's like a brine shrimp feeding frenzy almost. Just really bizarre. I should film it. Never thought of that.
What are they? Pose, what is it that eat them? Or eat it up?
The cichlids, I feed the Oscars, the fairy cichlids, these cichlids, my haps. I feed them all like handfuls of duckweed. When I go through the guppy tanks and the platy and molly tanks and scoop out duckweed, I just throw it into one of the cichlid tanks, and within a day, it's gone. Besides, it's very good for their digestion. It's a natural way for them to get vegetables, and it's much easier than peas. They do get zucchini once in a while, but it makes more of a mess. I usually save my zucchini for my 12-inch pleco, and he'll like totally munch it in a day.
Okay, you said cichlid. What kind of cichlid?
That eats duckweed?
Yes.
I have parrots and mambuna. Mambuna are more vegetarian. And when I first started putting the duckweed in this tank, a few of the mambunas really liked it. But then it's like the peacocks saw them eating it and decided to try it. So now everybody eats it. My fairy cichlids, which are sort of like daffodils, eat it. My haplochromis eat it. Pretty much all the cichlids that I have eat the duckweed. So it's just, an easy way to give them vegetables, and it's healthy.
Well, that's awesome. At least you can give them duckweed. A lot of people can't.
Hey, all you need is all you need is like a 5-gallon bucket, throw water and a couple pieces of duckweed in it, and you'll have duckweed.
Yeah, except I don't have any fish that'll eat it.
Well, that's true.
So my comment is at least you have a fish that will eat it.
Yeah, I have to find a new Oscar food. My Oscars have decided they don't like their food. And my Captain Morgan is getting lethargic, so I'm kind of worried about him. Well, hello, John. How are you today?
Hey, John.
Derek is thinking faster than he types. Or typing, yeah, thinking faster than he types. I don't know. I'm confused. Okay, I'll try that. I'm just worried he's. Okay, mute yourself, Kevin. um,
Why am I supposed to mute myself?
he's just kind of laying sort of on his side. Um, he's just not like swimming around a lot. I'm kind of worried about him. Last time I had him out of the tank, I examined. He only has one fin. And I looked, and there's no scar at all. So I think he was born that way. So he may be defective. I'm not sure. But he's like 7 inches. I'm just kind of worried about him. So I'll get some freeze-dried krill and try that. I'm right now going to try anything. Here's my baby fish. Wow, I've never heard of spraying the top with duckweed with water. I'd try it, but I need my duckweed. Yeah, see, he's... The other two are eating fine. And I don't know, he's just acting weird. And I don't want to start medicating him with just... Well, that's true, Ian. I didn't even think of that. And it may be because I haven't been spending as much time playing with him as usual. I didn't even think of that. I decided, since some people have such vicious Oscars that they even have a hard time cleaning the tank, I'm always messing with, putting my hands in there and hand feeding them extra float to the tank. I had to kill duckweed. Maybe that's why I lost some of my water lettuce and duckweed. God, you guys are geniuses.
Why did you lose duckweed and water lettuce? Water? Spraying on top? Is that what you said?
Yeah, he said if you spray water on top of the duckweed, it will kill it. Yes, John, I spoil him. I hand feed him Ken's 5-stick blend. The red one he doesn't like, but he really likes the earthworms. He loves earthworms. And he is a very spoiled fish. And it was funny because when I first got him, I named him Captain Morgan, and then realized that he only had one fin. So that's my pirate. That's the Satisfaction, which was Captain Morgan's real ship. That's my pirate ship. And I don't know, it's right next to my bed. So my boyfriend said that, well, okay, boyfriend, roommate, said sometimes when he walks into my room and I'm sleeping, I have my hand on the tape and that stupid Oscar is right next to my hand. So I guess he is kind of spoiled. There's Ian, there are two other Oscars which are about 4 inches and 7 or 8 inch syndinosis catfish, but that's it. There's just those four fish in the tank. No, I was gonna put him in the 125, but I guess I'll have to like save up and buy a 125 or something. Or if I have to buy another tank, maybe I'll just like get a 180 or 200. Make that my headboard, which will actually be like a sideboard. But and the yo-yo's out. The yo-yo has to go live in another tank if I can ever catch him.
Loaches are not easy to catch, though.
I will try that tomorrow because I do have some unwanted guppies.
Okay, I'm not reading chat, but I have a feeling I know what that comment would meant.
Freaky Fish Lady asked you how the skipper's doing, and you must give him a name.
Um, he's doing all right. I did a water change yesterday. Earlier today, I did a water, or I didn't do a water change. I tested my water, and water's nitrate is fine, so he's doing all right. Yeah, I've noticed. I tested it, and it's in the ballpark. Freaky Fish Lady. I did a water change, and it is in the ballpark. And my hydrometer is coming on Monday.
Perhaps duckweed doesn't like getting wet because it interferes with its absorption of sun and growing. Or if a water droplet gets on top of it, it burns it to death, like a magnifying glass on an ant.
Yeah, I don't know why. Isn't that the same with red root floaters? I'm pretty sure it's the same with red root floaters. Although duckweed does seem to have an uncanny knack of being able to withstand quite a lot. So I don't know.
Well, I'm not going to move the camera because it will scare her. But let's see. About 2 inches over, right about there where my finger is, I have a yellow lab who just spit her babies. She has a very small cave. And boy, she's going after the last group of fry to keep them away from her new ones. And it looks like she just sucked them all up to keep them safe.
Oh. You are the first batch. Yeah, so I know red root floaters don't. And so, but all I've got in, because they're mainly in the shrimp tanks. Because they were in that tank, but it's brackish now. I got it tested a few days ago, but I still want to get a, golly, what is it? I still would like to get a hydrometer, because I did not like the pen, but I did do it with, a few days ago. And what is it? Which nobody's going to know because it's not the right, or it's different. Let's see. What was it? Let's see. It was Monday. Yeah, it was Monday, and let's see. It was at wasn't I think 0.62. Wait, I'm sorry, 5,900 ppms. Yeah, I was gonna do Java Fern and Crips. Java Fern, Crips, and God, what was it? Java Fern, Java Moss, Crips, Anubias. But apparently those don't do well in brackish, even though I've been looking and it says all over that they will, but I don't know. But yeah, I have heard that algae and mangroves do well. Because it would be nice to be able to get some plant. I don't know if I'm going to need to. You'll see. Let's see. I do think I'm going to get one. Are you still there, Poe?
Yes.
Okay. Wasn't sure.
Yeah, I'm still here.
I'm trying to find a.
These guys want to go. Oh, yeah. These guys want to go to bed way too early.
I'm trying to find a good gimbal that's not too difficult. Ah.
I had a tub up for about 30 days, but it never made it outside. So maybe next year.
Okay, is that really having a tub up? If it never got outside?
I say yes, it is. What kind of cichlids are you going to get or look for, John?
John, you gonna get cichlids? Cool. Okay, John, so if that's a grow out tank, what size tank do you actually have for the cichlids?
Yeah, cichlids are my favorite fish. There's definitely no doubt about that. They're just.
Well, partially because there's so many types too.
But they all have like really cool personalities. When I got that one, That one right there, which is, I was just told it was some sort of hybrid that may have rusty, may have red shouldered. They weren't sure. It was the lightest gray. And maybe 2 days after I got it, it just really started coloring up as far as being much darker. And you can't really see how blue it is. Not as blue as the eye biter. But it's always been kind of a grumpy fish. It even
And
looks
is that
grumpy.
is that because it had a bigger tank, or why would it?
She was just tired of too many fry and was getting rid of all of the females. And that was the only one left.
But
So
you
I said,
once you got it colored out.
yeah. It was just really pale in her aquarium.
Why? Because it was stressed, or it didn't have a big enough room, or
No, it was a nice tank. It was well set up. And she just said it was a really light colored fish. And I probably had half the fish I have now, but a couple days after I brought her home, she just like turned dark, and she's been dark and happy ever since. Maybe it's like my mom moved to a new apartment and her night blooming cirrus, which I guess they're supposed to bloom once a year. It is now going into its fourth bloom of the year. Her orchid is doing its third bloom of the year. She grows plants, and I grow animals. Oh yeah, I love when the little cichlids bite. I actually may consider trying to catch some Texas cichlids when I met my kids after Aquashella. They have friends who have small rivers and ponds on their property. So I may try and catch some and bring them home. Yeah, I first saw the eye biters on Benno Chart Stream, and I just thought that they were the absolute coolest looking fish. And when I went to my local, it was Petco, they had two little itty bitty there about 1.5 inches long. And I got them for $3 a piece. And they're just awesome. They haven't been difficult so far. I have this orange, whatever it is, I don't know. I was told it was a dragon blood, but I think it may be an albino cherry peacock of some sort. And he's the tank boss. So the colored eye biter, he occasionally challenges, but it never gets anywhere. Let's see. He's just like, I mean, the water's a little cloudy from a water change, and I just fed them before I came on. But he's just, his colors are just so awesome. And he actually is much shyer than I thought. And that's the other one who, well, I haven't sexed him, so I don't know if it's a male and female or a male and a subdominant male. but I'm very impressed with them. I really like the eye biters. Oh, in person, it is absolutely gorgeous. Um, he just shines. And in the afternoon, if I open the curtains a little bit when he swims through the sunshine, oh, it's just awesome. It's like I've tried to catch pictures, but there's no way. I just don't have a camera that's good or fast enough. Um, but yeah, I lucked out with these two because they haven't eaten anybody's eyes. I do know that they occasionally pick off fry, but this is a survival of the fittest tank. So it's just the first couple times I had females holding, I took everything out and I caught them and I put them in tanks so they could have their fry. And at one point I had like 420 fry. And yeah, I did sell them all to the local fish store, who now basically just does platies, mollies, and guppies. And lots of reptiles and bugs. And just decided that taking everything apart in the fish tank to catch fry was just not worth it. So I've actually had, considering how many fish are in there, a lot of fry survive. Look at that eye.
Oh,
I don't know. Oh, maybe it's because I play with my fish that they don't fight too much. I have gotten in between a couple of them fighting, but I guess it was last Sunday when I was watching Roundhouses. He had two Manganos that were just, I mean, they were lip locking and going at it and flipping each other over. And my fish have never fought like that. But I guess, well, he's disabled too. But I guess I spend too much time playing with them. But I guess they need attention, so I need attention. They pay attention to me. And the eye biters are just, I mean, that's such a cool shaped fish. And over where you can't see behind the fishing poles, I have a bunch of really tall plants, fake plants, and they always, nose down in them. I think they're looking for fry. Aw, poor Texas cichlids. But hey, they're just like, they're kids, they're people, they're gonna fight. They watch us and we give them a good example of fighting. So
all right, Lori. Do you mind entertaining them for a few minutes, and then I'll be right back. Hopefully, not too long.
okay. I don't know how good I am at entertaining people, but
Well, you're doing fine, but Fender just ate some grapes, so
oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Okay. Don't leave the grapes out where the dog can get them. He has to
My
remind his
brother, for
parents.
some reason, put him on his
Oh.
bed. I don't know why.
Oh, yeah. Because your brother's dumb. That's why. Yeah, it's like it used to be, feed your dog garlic because it'll kill the fleas. Then it's don't feed your dog garlic because it's bad for them. It's like when I had my 4-H kids. I said, next thing you know, milk will be bad for you. Well, it is, which is why I had goats. And next thing you know, boom, milk's bad for you. Everything, unless it's in moderation, is bad for you. Even diets. And it's like my son and his wife have lost a ton of weight doing the keto diet. And they posted on Facebook. My daughter calls me up and said, don't even think about it, Mom. You're diabetic. And she works at a hospital. She said, you and the keto diet will not be good. So I don't eat enough to diet anyway. If I ate any less, I wouldn't be eating. I think when I die, I want to be an eye biter. So is anybody thinking of going to Aquashella? But you can't make it. Well, okay, you can. It's really hard to make butter with goat's milk. But, yeah, I had a friend who had a cow. I milked it once. And, oh boy, were my hands sore. More sore than milking 20 goats. And the butter that we made out of that fresh cow's milk was just wonderful. It was great. Yeah, Ian, I would love to go to Florida to be able to just spend like a week catching fish. And then I'd be really ready to come back to the desert. Yeah, I'm going to Aquashella. And Kevin and I, we're going to be the dog duo. We're sharing a room. We'll each have our service dog. And it's Halloween, so we get to dress up. I'm working on a costume for my scooter. Sort of like the old days when I used to go to science fiction and Comic-Cons. So, but it comes with the advantage of my kids are 3 hours away from Dallas. So I get to go play with my grandkids for a week. And my 6-year-old grandson, he's got it planned. We're going to go magnet fishing. Then we're going to go fish fishing. And then we're going to go to the aquarium that they built in the local mall, which my daughter says is the size of a large shopping, a large grocery store. And I have a feeling that he's going to keep me really busy, except when he's in school. So, see, so you should go out. My son actually used to live right next to the Greyhound bus station in Dallas. And when I can't take my van, I used to take the bus to Dallas. And I think only once I made it all the way to Colleen on the bus. One time, well, it was sort of a mutual kicking myself off and not being on the bus in Weatherford, Texas at 2 in the morning. Stuck in Dallas. I mean, when you have like a 12-hour layover in Dallas and your kids are 3 hours away, it's like, come on, you guys, you have to rescue me. This is ridiculous. I sit here 12 hours in a bus station with a dog. Yeah, I hate the traffic. That's why I live in the country. But it is definitely worth, it's like I visit my daughter in November because we're both November babies. And we sort of have a kind of a birthday party. Thanksgiving get together. Just this year it'll be sooner. Because it was just like an opportunity I couldn't pass up. I'm looking forward to meeting people. I mean, I think that's probably the best part about the fish, the aquashella and stuff, is that you get to meet people that you talk to all the time. And it gives you more of a connection. And maybe it's the Jewish mom thing. I always get concerned when you guys like disappear or somebody disappears and you don't know where they are. It really bothers me. Because you have like, when I first started on YouTube and I started listening to this Agenda Free TV, which is really good news. Wow, 26 years. I don't think I've ever lived in one place that long. Except I intend to live here until I die. I'm never moving again. But there was a woman that I used to talk to like every other day at least. And she was a little bit older than I am. And I know that she was on oxygen. And it was about the beginning of last year when it started going, the numbers started going up. And a couple days she wasn't there, and she came on the next day and said she hasn't been feeling very well. And that was the last time any of us ever heard from her. And it's like, I always wonder what happened to the lovely lady Edith. I'm sure she probably is not still in this world. And it's like, Roundhouse once said he was really sick, so I made him give me his phone number. So like, it's like, look, somebody has to be able to call you, and if you don't answer for a day or so, I'm gonna call somebody and send them over there. So like, I don't know, I always feel safer even though I have 2 roommates. To have a couple people who have my phone number who I think care. So I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels that way. Hello and good morning, the one and only Dave. Dave. Oh no, I'm going to get Kevin's eyes. That would be really bad. I don't hear very well. He doesn't see very well. This afternoon he said, maybe we should just join together and be one. And I told him that'd be too dangerous. Yeah, well, somebody has to care. I mean, there's a lot of us who are older and live alone. And my mother's doctor actually told her she needs to have somebody that calls and checks on her every day. So, of course, that's me. Um, and it's just, I sometimes worry about, Bob Kaler, but at least I know he's got lots of friends and people will check on him. But like, fucking fish, it's like, I feel sorry for fucking fish because I've been there and done that. And I worry about him. But yeah, Kevin has my number. Roundhouse has my number. I mean, I'm just not going to give it. No, I've known people who have sent cops over to people's houses after like a month, and it wasn't a good scene. They should have called earlier. If I don't answer I don't always answer the phone. If you don't see me for a couple weeks, send the cops over. They probably won't find me. My dogs will eat me. God, what a thought. The Roundhouse, I don't have your parents' number, so I can't call them and send them to your house. That's true. But I think that the majority of elderly people in the fish fam are not the type that would end up in a fight with the cops. Although yesterday I did watch a 40-minute police body camera on a pastor who went to pick up his belongings, and he actually kind of flipped. And I do agree. Better safe than sorry. You are not the devil rabbit. Speaking of that, does anybody have rabbit snails? I am going to get a couple of magenta mystery snails because I have this like magenta tank. But the rabbit snails look pretty cool. No, I guess you didn't. The cop didn't come to your door. You went out and talked to them when you had the shooting down the street. That was pretty good filming. I wouldn't be surprised if he's hiding something. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if he's hiding a lot of things. And they're probably really, really cool things. What do you think of the rabbit snails? You're one of the first people I've met that had a rabbit snail. I think they're one of the coolest looking snails. I thought that the trumpet snails were cool. Now I just collect them and give them to my friend who has pea puffers. Yeah, I'm always surprised that even though I live very rurally, the cops here are encrypted. No, Scott, Kevin's brother left grapes on his bed and Fender ate them, and grapes can cause kidney failure. Well, hello, Clicky Beetle. Let's see. Look, it's a Clicky Beetle. Doo-doo-doo-doo. This drives the guys crazy. It's like, why are you playing with bugs? Murder beans? Ah, you must have stole them from the museum on the hill. Oh, the hill is Los Alamos. That's where I was born. So I glow in the dark. One time at a science fiction convention, my friends and I, it was about the time that California did away with Prop 13, which was helping people get through college. And we were disparagingly talking about the government. And of course, once you start talking about the government that way, it kind of goes from there. And then the next topic of conversation was how easy it was to build a nuclear bomb if you had all the materials. And we finished, well, we ate the carnations on the table, and then we left the restaurant, and we walked into the lobby of the hotel, and we're surrounded by police and hotel security. And they escorted us, not too gently, I might add, into one of the offices at the hotel. And this obvious FBI type man put his hands on his hips and said, "Who owns the green van?" And it's like, "I do." "We need to search your van." I was like 23 years old. It's like, "What?" "Well, the woman behind you was listening to your conversation and heard you say that you guys had built a nuclear bomb and you had it in a green van on the hotel property." And it's like, we all started busting up laughing. I mean, it was like the most ridiculous thing. Of course, none of them thought that it was very amusing. So I said, "Hey, no problem. Go search the van." All the contraband we had, luckily, was in the hotel room, and they didn't ask to search that. And it was like, now I wouldn't let them search my van, but now I'm older and wiser. But it was like, all they had to do, well, no. I guess if they would have, like, checked who my parents were, then they probably would have been really concerned. Both of my parents have, like, super, super, super high security clearance for nuclear and space weaponization type things. I'm not sure exactly. When my son joined the Army, his friends were telling him how long the security checks were lasting. Like, they'd go into the office, like 2 or 3 hours later, they'd come out and like were cleared to enter the army. Oh, my son called my dad, called grandpa and said, do you have any idea why I walked in, sat down, and they said, so such and such is your father, and such is your mom, such is your grandfather, and such is your grandmother on your mom's side? And he said, yes, sir. That's my grandma and grandpa. And they said, okay, you're cleared. And I guess it's because my parents have really super high security clearances that they cleared my son so fast. I just want the code for the secret bomb shelter near the lake where I live. I mean, it's no joke. I used to come home and my mom would say, so, Ralph, what did you do at work today? And he'd look at her and say, you know I can't tell you. And I always wondered, but it turns out that my dad actually has patents on medical lasers. He has a lot of patents on lasers that are used for for medical. Biden probably doesn't even. Hang on. Sorry. Smoking, COPD, and not drinking enough. I don't even think this Biden knows this one exists because it actually says on the outside radiation, because it's run by a nuclear reactor or a nuclear generator. And then it says that you have to open the vent for 12 hours before entering. But because I was born and raised in Los Alamos, I know that it's a underground, probably really nicely set up shelter. I just hope that every once in a while they switch out the MREs because they keep getting better and better. We made a deal once with, well, when I lived on the Lampasas River in Texas, we made a deal with these guys that we let them come on our property and park their cars on our property rather than on the road and go fishing, but they had to bring us MREs. It was a very cool deal. And our local fish and game guy turned out to be an entomologist. And he quit coming because once I found out he was an entomologist, I kept bringing him bugs to identify. Hey, he had to go save his dog. And his brother's a real butthead. I mean, I'd be pumping my dog's stomach, that's for sure. And you can't say anything about it because I know how much you love Diesel. Even though he's a pain in the butt, he is an absolutely beautiful, loving puppy. Actually, I think Kevin is probably pretty liberal, but I'm not too sure because people who have lots of money usually are Republicans. Not that Kevin would pay attention to that. Me, I'm just a yellow dog. But my family's been yellow dogs forever. God, is that not an awesome fish?
Hey, Lori, did you want me to end it?
No, I'm just talking like being a motor mouth.
Okay.
Did you get any grapes?
I think I messaged you, so that's why I'm asking.
Oh. I turned my phone off because I thought it might be
I text you and I put it in Messenger.
Okay, I'll look. Sorry, guys.
Holy cow, Kevin must have come back to the stream. Everything okay?
No, it's probably because is Fender okay?
Don't know. We're trying to call the help.
Just, I guess it depends how many grapes he ate.
Oh, he had 15. 15 to 20 grapes. They were on my brother's bed.
Well, he's big enough that it should
What's your
be
dog?
okay.
Why you let the dog go into your brother's bedroom?
What do you mean?
You said it was on his bed, right?
He went into my brother's room. Yes.
Close the door from now on.
Apparently, it was mostly closed. He left it ajar.
And beat the crap out of him.
Who, my brother?
Oh, hell yeah.
Why?
Because everyone's saying, Posey was saying he's an idiot. Obviously, he needs a good butt whipping.
He's just a nasty little brother. But that's my opinion.
Yeah, my brother was too.
He didn't mean to leave the door open.
My uncle gave me a model of the USS Yorktown that he built. And one day my brother had a mental episode, and he went and broke it in half and stepped on it and stuff. So I went up and took a knife and stabbed all of his speaker cones. I got him back. He learned not to do it again. Yeah, going back to the whole searching cars thing. Years ago, I was pulled over, and the cop's like, "Do you mind if I search your car?" And I look at him and go, "Yeah, I do." It's like, "Why? You got something to hide?" I go, "No, it's the light, you dumbass."
But we all know cops don't know the law.
Oh, hell no. Which is hilarious, because how can you enforce law when you don't even know the laws?
And I think it was one of the auditing guys, auditing. I want to say Auditing America, but I'm not sure. The cops ran him over.
Yeah, didn't that happen in News Now Houston too?
Yeah. But this
By the way, what the hell happened to him?
I'm not sure, but he got hit yesterday, and he said they're actually, his lawyer is subpoenaing the CCTVs in the area because he doesn't remember what happened.
Was it that hard of a hit?
Oh, you should see his face. He's all scraped up.
Damn, I didn't miss that one. Yes, I have it open. I don't have the sound coming out of it. I have it open but muted. It's Posiwi.
It's me. If there's somebody else up, I have to mute, or else we get feedback.
We got to get you headphones. That's how I fix mine. And you actually, even if I did have it on, you wouldn't hear it because I always wear headphones.
Okay, I guess I have to look for headphones, or I will ask my son if he has a pair of good. Well, he has all good equipment, and then I can get the headphones when I pick up my computer in November.
I got cheapo headphones.
See, it works much better when I mute. Ooh, if you got cheap ones, then I'll just go to Walmart and get like really cool kid headphones, because they have some really cool headphones.
Yeah, I bought mine for like, dude, I don't even know what these are. JLAB. But they were like $6 or $7. I got them on Amazon.
Okay, then I have to figure out where to plug them in the computer. Oh wait, I'll have a new computer.
Are you getting a desktop or a laptop?
Desktop.
You'll be fine. It has all the different jacks.
Well, I was wondering about mine computer that I have now. I mean, I'm down to 2 working USB plugs, and I just had to take more stuff and move it because my computer said not enough memory to save document.
Hate when that happens.
So, yeah.
I have 8 gigs and I've even dealt with that. I make big old pictures.
Being a, well, yeah, with the roundhouses, with being, well, all the videos and stuff and shout outs I do, and writing, etc. I have a lot of shit stored on my computer, and he's going to give me at least 1, if not 2 terabytes.
I got a 4 terabyte. I got a 2 terabyte. I got a 512 gigabyte, and then I got a 512 gigabyte SSD for the OS drive. Each drive has its own purpose. The 4 gigabytes for, or the 4 terabytes for video. The 2 terabyte was video. Now it's for data. And the 512 gigabyte is for all my Sanborn maps and stuff like that. But what I do is, well, you know what the Sanborn maps are. I've taken the pages and put all the pages together for whole towns. So it's a single page map instead of multiple page, where you can print it out on a plotter and like put it up on your wall if you wanted to. Honestly, I can't even. I think it 7 foot long. I think it was.
I was going to say that must be huge.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I still got the file. How big is it? It's only 1.85 gigabytes, but yet an 8 gigabyte computer still doesn't want to open it. And that's not even a whole town. That's just like, what would that be? Like 8 blocks by 2 blocks. It's of Altoona, Pennsylvania.
You should shrink it.
Oh, I did. The shrinked version is 117 megabytes.
That's big. Okay, it's been 72 hours. The silicon is dry and cured. And the super glue is dry and cured. So tomorrow I will put the plant creation into the tank.
It's 49,900 pixels width, 13,300 pixels height. That was fun to do, though. I used my bootleg version of Photoshop CX6. Or, yeah, CS.
Let's see.
Oh, the little fern.
Yeah, this is for my polar blue tank. I have lots of time to decorate it and make it cool before I get the polar blues.
Honestly, all I'm looking forward to is lunch tomorrow.
Why? What are you having?
I got London broil, dinner cut. Sharps or whatever they call it for Swiss cheese and soft rind.
Oh, that sounds good.
And it's like an eighth to a quarter inch thick is dinner cut.
Yeah.
So you only need one piece of meat.
I got some thicker cut roast beef for my au jus, but I'm going to pile it like an inch high.
44, they do make a good phone keyboard. My dad has one. It's not a full size. It doesn't have the numbers on the right, and it doesn't have the arrow and home key stuff. It's just what would that be? 87 keyboard. Or something like that. But it's it connects via wireless or Bluetooth or something.
And my mom says, wait a minute, that says that it is a gaming keyboard. Why do you need a gaming keyboard? You don't play games. And I said, because it lights up in pretty colors.
Well, no, RGB is lights up. A gaming keyboard has better keys because you'd be hitting them all the time.
It does have things I don't recognize on it.
That's also it has specialized keys and all that. I'm waiting for them to come out with a World of Warships gaming keyboard.
It's a HyperX xgaming.com keyboard.
Why do I know that name?
Xbox One compatible, PC, and P54. Because it lights up, and that way it can be totally dark, and I can still see the keys. I had one, but I guess I have to be real careful. If I leave a coffee cup on my desk, then my hand knocks it over and licks it out. Yeah, that looks like this one kind of. But it doesn't have quite as many things on the top. But it has things on the top that I don't recognize.
This is just a standard keyboard. That's lit. But it's mechanical. It's not electronic. Electronic keyboards suck. I don't like them. They don't have you don't get the feel.
Yeah, of the click click. Yeah, I was
the treble even.
I was thinking of getting one of those sealed kind because I'm always spilling things, but it didn't feel like a keyboard. I guess we're old enough that we like the typing feeling.
Well, I mean, if I could get it where it didn't click, I'd be happy. But I like the keys because they have a long travel. Where like a laptop, it doesn't. You only have what is it, like a 1/16 of an inch of key?
It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're accomplishing anything. The only thing I have to do is make the cap lock key above the shift go away. Otherwise, I'm always hitting cap locks.
Oh yeah, I'm always doing that with the game.
But I have really long fingernails, so only on one hand. So
usually I don't use the shift key. But because of the game, that shift key is what gets you into the sniper view. So you can actually see the ships real close.
And kill them.
Yeah, after I play the game, I'm constantly typing capitals.
So now I know to remind you that you're not in game mode anymore.
Yeah. If I'm ever in caps, you know I was playing the game.
Okay, sorry guys, I wasn't muting.
Oh, just deal with the echo. Jeez.
Nah, GRB, it's a Paosui echo.
What's happening is Posiwi doesn't have any headphones, so her mic is picking up the sound from the speakers because she doesn't have it set right.
Okay, well, probably see you tomorrow or the next day, J-Rock. Take it easy and be safe. Whatever that means these days.
See you, J-Rock. Posiwi, if you go down to your, I'm assuming you have Windows. Right next to your time, there's like a little speaker. If you click on that and open sound settings, oh wow, that's all new. Holy cow, they must have updated that. I gotta look at that later.
So would it be system sounds or D32F F1C?
Well, oh, is that it? Is that the one I want? I'm trying to look where the setting is. Where the hell is it?
Okay, did that make any difference?
No. What you want to do is turn on echo cancellation.
Okay.
I can't remember where to do that though. Oh.
Sound. Manage audio devices, maybe? Let's see. Playback. No. Sounds. No. Communications. Mute all other sounds. Reduce the volume of other sounds. Do nothing.
Am I in the wrong section?
Does that work?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm too much of a techno peasant to do this.
Yeah, I can't remember where the hell the setting is.
Okay, well, tomorrow I have to go into town to buy dog food, so I'll get cheap headphones. And in the meantime, when I quit talking, I'll just mute myself.
That's gonna annoy the hell out of me now.
Yeah, but don't you have Windows 10?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, see, I have Windows 7 until I get the new computer. I'm going to have to learn a whole new world.
Not really. Most of the changes are backside settings. The actual Windows still works the same.
Thank goodness for TeamViewer. If I have problems, I just call my son and tell him to fix it.
You still got the start bar, the Windows button. Windows 10 pretty much looks just like Windows 7. Except it's a DirectX 12 based system instead of DirectX 9, 11 or something.
Oh, they're just computer updates are insane. I got this computer when I started college again, which was probably now about 13 or 14 years ago. And it's had lots of rebuild with used parts, but it's just getting like old and tired. And my son actually built me a computer that was just like so complicated that I didn't understand it. So I'm bringing it back, and while I'm down there, he's going to build me a computer and make sure that I can use it. Thank goodness that I have a kid who can do that.
Pose, let me ask you a question. With Windows 10, are you going to want to go and do the extra step of clicking the start menu, clicking the gear button, and then clicking system update and running it manually? Because there is a way to turn off the automatic updates. What you have to do is set the connections as metered connections. And what that does is it pretty much turns off Windows Update, so it will not automatically update. And you won't all of a sudden be using it, and it says, oh, you have to restart your computer.
I have that on this computer, and Jason did it through TeamViewer. So I'm sure that he'll do it for the next computer, because he's a big gamer.
DirectX? Well, I know Windows 10 is definitely DirectX 12. So Windows 7 had to have been 11. And all that does is your video card, if your video card is DirectX 12 capable, you will be able to see through your start bar and stuff like that. It's like a translucent, not transparent. It's translucent. Wow, World of Tanks is a DirectX 11. I'm so sorry, man. I'm pretty sure we're DirectX 12 now on warships. They did an upgrade to it, graphical upgrade. Oh my God, does it look good now? And they're going to be doing another one yet. They're going to be doing an underwater upgrade next.
I'm not good at gaming on the computer. I guess I just am stuck in the land of Pokemon and thermonuclear war.
Lately, I've been lethal.
And Dungeons and Dragons before they computerize things.
Right now, I stopped playing all my high-tier ships. I went back to all my low-tier ships, and I'm trying to get them up to a 10-point captain. So I've been playing like tier 5 a lot lately. And, man, I'm getting really, really dangerous with those small, or the low-tier ships. Shit, the last battle I killed 5 ships.
Okay, just give me the blue box, the battleship game. And I'm good.
Bad. But you need Windows XP to do that. I have Monopoly and Battleship.
I should have known. Okay, now the game I'm really good at is Clax. But we used to get like insanely high and spend hours playing that game.
44. It will not upgrade to 12 if you have an 11 card. Like on my old video card, I only had DirectX 11. Now with this new video card, it's a DirectX 12. So everything looks better with the better card and the update.
Ooh, I like Connect 4. Ooh, and I found my next project. They still make balsa wood paper-covered airplanes.
Yeah.
So I just need to figure out which airplane I want.
I have the answer for you. A PBY Catalina. It is very fun to build.
My dad and I used to take up the entire kitchen table, and we'd have to eat somewhere else because we had it all pinned and glued and sitting on the kitchen table.
Yep.
And I want to build another plane. and hang it from the ceiling next to my animals.
They
as soon as
also
I-
have a new type of model called a subscription-based model. At least that's what I call it. What it is every month you get like 2 magazines, and each magazine has parts, and it tells you how to put together the parts. And by the time you're done with the subscription, what was the plane? It was a Spitfire. And it's literally, you build it like a real plane. You got to build the frame of the fuselage, and then you got to put the covering of the fuselage on, and the frame of the wings and all that. It's very, very detailed stuff.
I always wanted the, I guess it's 1/32 size V8 engine, working V8 engine.
No, that's 1/4. I know
No,
what
they
you're
have
talking
a
about. The old clear ones.
Yeah, no, they have a 1/32. They had it in a store on Hollywood Boulevard, and like I worshipped that thing for ages. I always wanted to build that.
We had the old 60s style, so it was like it was a quarter scale. The engine was maybe, well, no, it couldn't have been quarter scale. It had to have been half scale, because the engine was like 3 feet, or like maybe 2.5 to 3 feet, depending on how you measured it at what point. But it was those clear ones from back in the 60s and 70s that you could turn the crank and see everything move inside and stuff.
Yeah, Mom didn't have anything to say, GRB, because it was my dad making models on the kitchen table. The only thing she asked was that we cover it with plastic so we wouldn't get glue on the maple table. And in fact, she still has that table as her dining table.
One of the best times of my life was when my grandma sold her house and moved from Des Plaines into Elgin. We were cleaning, because she has to pack up. We're cleaning out the old house, and in the basement there was always this door that I've never, shockingly, I never went there. But man, I so should have gone in, because it was all my grandpa's, who died like 3 months before I was born. It was all his models that he hadn't built yet. One of them was, I don't even know what scale it was, but it was a 1916 Lincoln something or other. And the wheels were like 3 inches in diameter.
See, I'd need something that big now, because, I used to build models all the time, and when I got the glow-in-the-dark pirate ship, I didn't realize how much my hands don't work until I started trying to build it. It took me like 3 times as long. So a car with 3-inch wheels, yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I'm not strong enough to build engines anymore or work on cars, so I'll just have to do models. I do have a 56 Cadillac that I should probably start putting together, figure out which fish tank to sink it in.
Someone was asking, I think it was yesterday, how to build a model and put it in a tank. They're going to be building like they're called LPH. I think it was an LP. It's a helicopter carrier. They look kind of like the old escort carriers from World War II. They're little dinky things compared to the main carriers that we have. But he wants to build it and put it and sink it in the tank.
Well, when I built the pirate ship, My advice is, well, it depends on what kind of fish, and if you have shrimp. I found I filled it with gravel so it would stay at the bottom, but my yo-yo loaches actually dug through the gravel and got into the ship, and I actually thought that they were like maybe the guppies had eaten them or something, because I couldn't find them anywhere. Like, I took everything out of the tank and looked real carefully, and then I heard this, and they were both inside the pirate ship. So I felt kind of bad, but I had to like shake them out, and then I put choya wood on the second deck so that they couldn't get into the gravel. But I mean, I just put it together, and I didn't put like a lot of the little parts on, because some of the parts, well, the guppies managed to knock off the netting, the plastic netting for the rigging. So small parts or places where fish or shrimp could get into it, like I didn't open any of the, I didn't put any of the cannons in with the little open doors, because like little GRB, little fry and shrimp can get in those little things. The next one, I would just, like, if I did another ship, I would fill it with gravel and then put like the next deck on and make sure that there's no way they can get in there. But it needs something to weight it down. If it were like a cargo helicopter type thing, you could put it in the cargo area. And I just, after I got the loaches out, there were a couple of small areas where shrimp and fry could get in, and I just put silicone seal on it, and let it dry so they couldn't get in there, and then stuck it back in. But it's doing great. Occasionally it gets some algae on it, and I just, clean it off. I'm working on, well, since I won't get the polar blues, well, probably till the end of the month. I'm working on putting glow-in-the-dark stuff in their tank. They have a skeleton and a giant bug right now. But yeah, I should build the Cadillac. And that's the other thing, is that I didn't use any paint on it because, well, it glows in the dark, so I didn't want to glow in the dark. But I would probably seal it with clear, paint the pieces and then seal it with a clear coat before putting it together. Because I don't know how the fish would react to the paint.
Well, what you would have to do is build it, paint it, then once you're done, clear coat it. But I got something even easier for you. Next time you're searching online, look up Colby, COBY, building blocks. They're Legos, but not Lego. It's Colby Legos. They do military stuff, B-17s, P-51s, Zeros, all the different planes. You could build them, and it'll because they're plastic and they're color injected. It's not painted. They'll be safe for your fish tank. You could just sink it into the tank.
Oh yeah, sinking Legos. I already tried that. If you build a background that's big enough for a 10-gallon tank with a couple of houses attached to it, and you stick it in the water and you let it go. It bounces about 2 feet out of the tank. And I wasn't going to take it all apart and put it back together underwater so it stays under the water. I actually thought about silicone sealing it to the back of the tank. Ooh, a new kind of bug.
Kobe doesn't close as tight as Lego. They do sink.
Oh, but I got like $200 worth of Legos sitting in my one of those.
Yeah,
usually,
but
a hardware parts.
Kobe makes pieces that Lego won't even touch. Like if you've seen the Lego planes, they're blocky. The Kobe is, and everything's nice and smooth and rounded. Where Lego, you put the plates down and you build up. Kobe does it a different way. You build the very middle and then you build out. So, like on a ship, they do ships. And the reason I said they sink is because some guy built one of these ships that's 3 foot long, put it in this bathtub, and it ended up sinking after a while. It water filled. But the hull is all rounded. It's not blocky like a Lego would be.
Okay, GRB. Are you talking about this guy right here? That's a Ibiter, a Disochromis. Let's see, that one, and I have a bright orange one, are the only for sure males. No, he actually does chase the female peacocks around, because everybody except for that orange guy, he's the only other for sure male. Besides, I have, let's see, 2 male Manganos, and then I have 2 Kenya males, but everybody else in here is female. So I have, and there's a lot of fish hiding, and you're only seeing like a third of the tank, because the way my camera's set. But yeah, he chases the ladies. And you never know, because I have a female Aussie, and she has actually bred with the Manganos, and I have really cool Manganos that are like, have white tails. They're only about 1 inch long right now. GRB, until I got my new internet, I could only watch in 144p. And when I got the new internet, it was like, wow, what have I been missing? But I mean, this tank is so hybridized. It's like, no, you purists. I have single, okay, my half tank does have an angelfish and a rainbow in it. But this tank is so mixed up. I'm not going to sell any of these fish. I'm just like, I'll figure out where else to put fish. I have a 3-bedroom house, and all the fish are in my bedroom. So I may actually have to take over more of my house.
Mute for a second. So another thing I was thinking, if the new computer has an NVIDIA RTX or GTX card in it, tell your son to install. It's a piece of software called RTX Voice. NVIDIA RTX Voice, it's called. And what that does is it's a secondary noise cancellation. And that's why you don't hear me banging my pipe into my ashtray and stuff anymore. It cuts all that out. Over. Oh, and I got a blue Mangano that has a yellow tail.
Hey, we should get my white tails together with your yellow tails. Did not.
I'm not sure if it'll stay yellow because it's still like yours. It's like a 1-inch fish still.
Well, I'd like to see. I have 2 OBs in this tank that are about an inch long. I don't know where they came from. But OB is a dominant gene. Well, actually, as Charles would say, it's a dominant allele. So when they get big enough to breed, I should have more OBs. And I may even get like orange and yellow OBs, which would be really cool. But I have some really strange looking fish. I know that, well, he's a boy. I don't know what the other eye biter is. And they're really hard to catch. I mean, everybody else is, well, I know what sexes. I bought one. Oh, yeah. And I just found, I think it was 2 days ago, Manganos with red dorsal fins. And I think that's because I have a red top Labratrophius or something like that.
If it was up to me, I would get rid of my blue Manganos.
I just want the daffodils. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Have you seen what happens when you breed fairy cichlids to daffodils?
I thought daffodils were for fairy cichlids.
No,
are you
but
talking about the Bichardes? The gray Bichardes? Okay.
No, the fairy cichlids that have the blue on them, like leer tails.
Yeah.
Have you seen what happens when you breed those to daffodils?
No.
Oh, it is so awesome. You get a daffodil that has like blue edges and blue on its tail. It's sort of like you combine the 2 fish, well, which is what you're doing. But they're really cool looking.
I might have to try that. Honestly, I've never been able to get daffodils until the batch I got downstairs. So,
well, let me tell you, I can get you thousands of the Bichardes. There's 2 people in Albuquerque who breed them, and one guy has 5 tanks of them, because I guess they sell them online or something, and the other guy has 3 tanks of them. And I think I pay $3 a piece.
Yeah, Bichardes are very common out here. Daffodils, not so much. back in the 90s, I mean, I was getting Bichardies left and right, but I even joined Greater Chicagoland Cichlid Association to try to find daffodils, and I still couldn't. But we didn't have the internet like we do now. Over.
Well, I think except for a couple fish, I'm pretty much happy with what I have. I'm getting my polar blue cichlids. I'm not getting green rasporas anymore because they have a problem with velvet and ick, and I just don't want to deal with it. Whoa, sorry guys. So I need either a rubber lip or a vampire pleco and filament barbs. And then I'll be happy.
Honestly, I don't even know what I want next. I got 4 tanks empty right now because I condensed I lost both breeding pairs, one of each. So I took the remaining and I threw them back in the upper 55. And I had a small water issue on the lower 55 and lost both those.
Well, I have this empty tank waiting for some daffodils, and then I have the tank. Well, it's not empty. It has 2 bristles noses in it. And then I have the tank with the giant pleco and 2 yo-yo loaches that's waiting for the polar blues.
I'm going to see what I can do, trying to scrounge up some money because I got brand spanking new babies in the daffodils. And
I told you I'd send you shipping money.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know if I can ship these. They're baby 1/4-inch babies to let you see them grow up. Because as they grow up, do they look? Because they change. The daffodils change as they grow up. Like my teenage type daffodils, they're all pure white trimmed finned fish. Over.
Hey, that overworks really good. Yeah, when I got the I had to drive the 2.5 hours to pick up the Bichardies, but they were just like these little pearly color fish, and they were about 1/2 inch long when I got them. And now they just, the blue trimming they have, especially on their leer tails, are just, it's really sharp. I really like them. They're one of my 4 bathroom tanks. Maybe I could do without a shower. A bathtub and just have a shower. I need my storage cabinet. Oh, the decisions. If I didn't need a bed, I'd be set.
Well, I finished the first step on the whole 125 idea, and that was getting the central air system piped up to the den. So I got all that. Currently, I have my 4 tanks hooked up to it, but yeah, I'm really working on a 125 because the daffodils are going in that for sure.
Yeah, well, I was kind of pissed off when I realized that the guy had gone all the way through the silicon. And however, I do have a friend who is a commercial glass worker, and I'm going to ask him, is there any way to glue it or seal it together so that I can, run the silicon on the inside? And because the frame is good, the top and bottom frames have cracks or breaks in them. And it's an old tank with a super heavy glass. So I don't want to just like trash it because the glass is, really heavy, and it's just better than having thin glass, or at least in my opinion. So I just have to figure out how to put it back together, so I don't have to spend money to buy a new one. Over.
So in private chat, I'm posting a link that you should go to. Because when you go to, if you have that tank taken apart, they will break the frame. And that's a place where you can buy the frames. Over.
I take frames off and don't break them. I've done it a lot on the drilled 20 gallons I have. I can't
20
just wrap.
gallon is a lot easier.
Yeah, well, yeah. True.
Because a 125 is a dual brace, right?
No.
It's still a single brace.
That's how thick the glass is. I mean, this is an old tank. The glass has to be... It's really thick.
It's going to be a quarter-inch thick, I believe. Is the old size.
Yeah.
These frames might not work on that. I mean, if you go that route, call them and ask. But to get that, the bottom frame's easy to get off. The top frame is the hard one.
I've always had more problems with getting the bottom off than the top.
Yeah, see, the bottom, what they do is they build the glass tank, and then they just put like 4 spots or something just to attach the bottom, because it's just holding there. The top, what they do is they put a bead around the top of the glass and then put the frame on, so it's stuck all the way around, versus the bottom, it's only in spots. Or at least that's how my 55 was.
Well, I figure that I'll get to it like in the winter, because I'll bring it into the house, put it on some milk crates. Well, and then put the 2x12s on top of the milk crate and put the tank on top of that and work on it.
Is it only one corner?
It's one side that he took apart. I mean, he took an X-Acto knife and he cut off the silicon, but he went all the way through, so you can actually almost rattle the glass. I mean, it's obvious that piece is like loose.
There is a way to do it. It's not going to look pretty though.
Well, one of my tanks actually has, I think it's black silicon seal. I mean, it's okay, Derek. It was really nice of you to drop by, and you'll have to come in and come up next time.
Night 44. You can actually put a bead of silicone on the outside of the tank and double thickness inside the tank.
Well, that would protect the corners from my brother. He, luckily, it's one of my super thick glass tanks, he was moving a tank and sort of bumped into the other tank and it chipped some of the glass off, but not enough to do anything.
I know how to fix that problem too. You go to the hardware store, and I don't really know what it's called, but it's that the strip of wood that you put up at the top of the ceiling to make it not a corner, but like around it.
Molding.
Get some of the molding and just put it on backwards, like L-shaped molding, and it gives the tank a nice wood look anyway too.
Yeah, we were the other day when we were talking about the mud skipper. Who was it that had the tank with the nice gray molding all around it? The turtle tank. That was a really cool turtle tank.
I think that was was it Natural Aquarium? I'm not quite sure. Over.
And don't work too hard, Derek.
I'm actually starting to get worried about Kevin's dog. He's been gone.
Let me see if he's messaged me. Oh, I hope they don't have to take him to the emergency vet. That's really expensive. Oh, I probably couldn't afford it, but they can. Yeah, he hasn't messaged me, so.
The only thing I take my dog in for is to get his nails cut. That's it. Other than that, he's never seen a vet.
They should be here by the end of the week. I had to buy new nail clippers because my 8-month-old puppy decided to chew them up, because the only one that I have problems with nails growing like insanely fast is the hound, and his nails really need to be cut. And I finally found the clippers. I don't know how she bent the metal underneath the plastic handles, but she definitely did a number. So I get to clip nails. He's not that bad. He just like whines and cries like he's being killed. And I give him a piece of biscuit like every 2 nails. And he just lays there and whines and cries. And I think that he thinks his whining and crying is what's getting him the biscuits. Not the fact that, he's letting me cut his nails. But yeah, I'll text Kevin because
my dog would just rip someone's face off. He has to have muzzle, a collar, a harness, and I have to hold him to the actual, literally my whole weight holding him to the ground I put my hand on the harness and through the collar and just hold it down to the floor. If I don't want to spend the money to put him under. He's a pain in the ass. Over.
Okay, I texted him. Let's see. I had a Great Dane eat a sock. And after 3 days of not going to the bathroom, I took him to the vet and they gave him barium. And then I took him back and they did an x-ray, which is why we knew it was a sock. and made an appointment for the next day to bring him in for surgery because it was crammed full in front of the sock and nothing after the sock. And luckily the barium pushed everything out and he didn't have to have surgery, but it still cost me $700
Ouch.
for a sock. Yeah.
See, we've always watched the dogs. I don't remember any problem that any of the dogs ever had. They never ate anything. But we didn't leave food laying around and stuff. We didn't leave socks on the floor. My house, my family's house, you had to put it in the hamper and stuff.
Oh no, what was really bad, Freaky Fish Lady, my Dane walked away from me and his manly parts were about 3 times the size they should be. He had an E. coli infection. And the vet was kind of funny because when I went in, they took x-rays and stuff. I mean, he literally collapsed at the vet's. So they put him on a blanket, and dragged him into the back. And he said that there was only one way to cure it. And he understood that he was a, intact Great Dane that was probably worth a lot of money. But the only way to solve the problem was to neuter him. And it was like, I can deal with that. So they neutered him, put him on antibiotics, and he was fine. But it was like, we got into the vet's office, and we were there like 10 minutes, and he just collapsed. And that was my last service dog, who now is living happily on a cattle ranch. He is the smallest thing there because he got bit by a Chihuahua in Walmart and decided that small dogs were now edible. And I can't afford $5,000 to retrain him. So that was the end of his service dog career. And then I was going to get another Dane, but my daughter got me my kitty mix, and he's a great dog. So I'm happy with him. He could be a little bit taller. And I think he knows it because the 8-month-old puppy I have is taller than he is. And I think he's jealous of her height.
If I ever get another dog, it's going to be a small one.
Oops. I have to have a dog that's a dog. Well, I did have a German Spitz, which is in between the size of a Pomeranian and an American Eskimo. And that was an okay size. But if someone were to give me a dog...
Actually, no, I'll rephrase that. I don't necessarily get a small dog. I would get a puppy. For sure. I would not take an adult dog ever again. Because you get problems like this, like the nail problem. I never even realized that would be happening until, I went to try to cut his nails. And now I'm stuck with this thing.
But he is a good dog. And he is beautiful.
Oh, yeah. He is the smartest dumb dog I've ever known. He knows exactly what you're saying. He knows how to do stuff. He just doesn't want to. He's a stubborn ass.
Oh, nice. I did dog rescue for many years. And we only had one white German Shepherd come through. And she was absolutely beautiful. She's living on a ranch in Colorado now.
if I ever had a choice of dogs, it would be an Aussie Collie Lab mix.
Karma's an Aussie mix. Her dad was a pit bull Aussie, ugliest looking dog, and her mom was a Saint Bernard Great Pyrenees mix, and she looks like an Anatolian Shepherd. But I picked one of the shortest haired puppies because I was kind of hoping I wouldn't get stuck with St. Bernard or Great Pyrenees fur and have to like brush and brush and brush over.
Where the hell is this dog picture? I don't know. If I ever find the dog picture, I'll send it to you. But it was like a white and black and gray peppered colored dog.
Oh, that sounds cool. Kevin says he's okay. They just induced vomiting, and they're going to be going home shortly. So Fender will be okay. Oh, German Shepherds. They're just so smart. And they're just, I am not particularly fond of the super low slung German Shepherds because I know that it can lead to hip dysplasia problems, which we had in Labradors. And I had in the first dog I ever bought when I was 16. Let's see. No, I was 15. When I was 14, I bought a cat and brought it home, a Red Point Siamese. When I was 15, I bought a Golden Retriever, and we had made arrangements to breed her with our vet's champion Golden Retriever, and within 2 months, she developed epilepsy, which was from a brain injury of my horse kicking her, and got hip dysplasia. And it kind of turned me off dogs for a long, long, long time. Because at 16, it's like she had no right to die on me. But the next year, I came home with a pony and a horse. And my mother told me if I came home with an elephant, she was going to throw me out. Freaky Fish Lady, do you have any pictures of Luna on your channel?
Oh, there it is.
Oh, Doberman's sad. After I lost Jake, well, no, before I got rid of him, I went out and somebody had her in the newspaper for free, like pick her up today or she goes to the pound. And the town they're in it's not a no-kill shelter. So I got this really pretty 6-month-old Dobie, and I named her Juniper. And my Great Dane attacked her, and I took her to the vet, and she lived for about a month after that. He actually pierced her skull when he bit her, and she didn't make it. And if my daughter would not have gotten me this puppy, I don't think I'd have a service dog anymore, because she was just the sweetest thing in the world. And just, Dobermans are so beautiful.
I guarantee you, when you open your email, you'll want the dog that I just sent you a picture of.
Okay, I will check. Out. Over.
Kevin's gone, so I can't share it on screen for the people. That, or I would buy a blue-furred fox. I think it would be fun to have a blue-furred fox.
I had a friend who had a fox.
I almost bought one when I was in high school. It was $30. It was at Lee Watson's Reptile Swap in Streamwood, Illinois.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, I think if one of my dogs got shot, I'd probably shoot the person if I were around. And that indeed is an awesome looking puppy.
That's the Aussie Collie Lab.
That's had to be a border collie. That's an awesome looking puppy. But are you smarter? Are you smarter than the dog? Because border collies are geniuses.
That dog, not a chance. That dog was able to figure out how to open a car door by itself.
I was gonna get the handicap, door thing for my front door. Not the knob, but the other kind with the handle. Only
Okay.
I know that my hound would figure out how to open it, and then everybody would get out, and I would probably lose at least one or two of them to the neighbors' dogs. So sometimes I just have to fight the front door. God, I click on the button before I speak. Okay, I'm muting.
I'm actually shocked that this software doesn't have a push to talk feature.
That would be convenient. Sort of like a CB radio.
Yep.
Oh, I love watching dogs in the snow, especially like I've gotten a couple rescues and stuff from Texas, and the first time they see snow, it is so cool. When I was little, it used to snow more, and I used to follow the dogs, because they would make a nice path through the snow. It doesn't snow enough now. In fact, last year we got snow, but none of it lasted for more than a day. It was kind of depressing. I miss snow.
Freaky Fish Lady, 10-9. What's your 10-20? I know there's a lot more. I just can't remember. Oh, 10-6 was another one. Over.
We should have them all memorized for as much as we watch Cop Watchers and listen to the scanner.
Yeah, really.
I had an interesting experience with the CB radio. I used to live in California, and I drive from northern to southern California on I-5 all the time. And I never had a CB radio, and I went to my friend's house, and her husband just got very concerned that I was driving up and down I-5, a woman alone, etc. So he put a CB radio in my van, and I was listening to all the truck, because I drive at night, or I used to drive at night. And so I was listening to all the chatter, and I was really stupid. I put my cooler in the back of the van, so every time I ran out of a drink, I had to pull over and go into the back of the van and get a new drink. And so these two trucks passed me, and I hear this. Oh, I sure hope that this guy in this van is okay. He keeps pulling over, like every hour or so, I think. And I started laughing. He goes, I don't know, maybe we should stop and check. Maybe something's wrong with that van. And it is in the middle of the night. So, not knowing anything about CBs, I pushed a button and I said, hello, hello. I said, actually, the man in the van is a woman who, up until just now, had her cooler in the back of the van. So to get a new drink, I had to stop and go into the back of the van. But I've now fixed that problem. And thank you very much for being concerned. I appreciate it.
Oh, you would have got ripped out here back in the day. You didn't say break, and you didn't say the channel number.
Well, it was kind of obvious I didn't know what I was doing.
I know. I'm messing with you.
Well, there's those type of people in every group.
Yep. My radio, I'd be able to click it and open my garage door.
Hey, I need a name.
You always well, mine was Bulldog, and then for I was also Grey Poupon. My name is Poupon. How you doing?
Okay, I would just probably be Posui. Not that anybody could pronounce it, but I mean, that's who I am, so that's who I should be.
Yeah, Posiwi is Posiwi would be a great handle.
My nieces just moved. They used to own the Pet Hale, which is a pet store in Oahu, and they just moved back to the mainland in a town. It's on the lower east side of Missouri. I'm trying to remember the name.
You actually missed it because I pulled out the Johnson Messenger 223 yesterday on Kevin's stream, and I showed it on camera. 23 channel, 5-watt tube radio, base station. Over.
I am one of the few people in the United States who actually owned a dingo. We had 2 dingoes, and they were the most interesting dogs I have ever had in my entire life.
You know what? Now that you said dingo, I want to domesticate a hyena. I want a hyena.
Or as they would
Why
say,
in the world would you want a hyena? Hello, you guys.
Hey, everything good?
Yeah. Yes.
I do see 2 dogs back there, so yeah, it looks like everything would be good. What would Kevin's handle be?
That freaking dog doesn't even chew. Ugh.
They induced vomiting, and it looks like the dog is still on the bed right there behind them. So, yeah, both dogs are up there. Oh, wigging your tail. Oh, who's the good puppy? Who's the good puppy?
One time when we were on and Kevin went out of the room,
Kevin,
he comes back in and he says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm whistling and trying to get your dog's attention."
Okay, that's the one that's laying down was the one that they took to the vet.
Yeah, the one with the white nose is Kelly. Fender's the one who looks real sad.
I was just gonna say, don't feed the one that you just got back home. Being that they just induced vomiting, his stomach might still be upset. He looks pissed.
Wow, she's really good at catching biscuits.
He's exhausted.
I mean, I think anyone would be. Kevin, I was thinking about this, and I'm going to suggest this. This is what my parents used to do to keep dogs out of a room. Get a baby gate. Put a baby gate in front of the door.
Well, the problem was, for some reason, which I kind of get, but my brother decided to go take a shower and did not shut his door because he thought that both the dogs were downstairs.
Well, we got to figure out what Kevin's handle would be. His CB handle.
There's something you wanted to say. You can't hear you. Sorry,
I forgot. I was just reading. We were talking about CB handles, and let's see.
Oh, puppers! Yeah, puppers would be great for Kevin.
Roundhouse is Bulldog. Little Darling is the Freaky Fish Lady. GRB used to be the Dingo Pup.
How do we get into
Yeah, it's really sad. I remember, oh, you have dingoes, oh my God. They steal babies.
The dingo ate my baby.
Oh, now some yogurt for Fender wouldn't be a bad idea. That would help settle his stomach. Well, not right now, but later. Bloodworms and shrimp everywhere. Sounds like... Well, I don't think I'd feed my dog bloodworms. They would eat them, but... Canine Kid. Now that's a really good one.
I can see Kevin. Breaker 19. This is the Canine Kid. What's going on?
I like that one. Okay, so Kevin, you're the Canine Kid.
Okay.
You know what? We got to get the fish family to get CBs. We got to bring CBs back.
Bring back an ancient technology?
Inferior.
Oh, hell no. They still make CDs. They're still being sold today. There's still stores that sell them.
Why would you need a CD? Sure, I said inferior.
Oh, it's highly superior.
I just
It's
didn't
high.
hear you.
It's highly superior. It's free. You don't have to pay a monthly fee to use it.
Not to mention the fact that there's a million truckers out there who are still using CBs, and
Oh, yeah.
if a better technology had been invented, they would be using it.
Let me rephrase that. I will tell you that I will give you it is inferior to a point because VHF radio is superior to CB, although it's a pain in the butt because you got to get a license and all that crap. You got to take tests and learn shit and it's funny because they make you learn stuff that you're not even going to be using. They make you learn UHF and VHF even though you're only going to be using VHF. But
yeah, I'm actually going.
Go ahead.
GRB said that his shingleback lizards love high-protein fish pellets. I have to get some high-protein fish pellets for my isopods, which should be here on Monday.
Why are we looking at custom aquarium frames?
For my 125 gallon.
Ah.
We got to get a fish family fox hunt going. Oh, yes. That is the best damn idea. Screw Aquashella and Oktoberfest and all that crap. We're doing a fox hunt.
What's a fox hunt?
Tag with the CB in a car. Or not tag, hide and go seek.
How do you play hide and go seek with the CD?
Very, very easily. You use the CB. The guy goes and drives away and goes hides, and then he just keys up and he's just constantly talking blah 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 blah. You know, he plays the radio over it, da da da. And you drive around and look at there's a gauge on the CB. If the gauge is going up, you're getting closer to him. If it's going down, you're getting farther away. And you find the guy.
Oh, wait, what gauge?
And then the winner could get $100 gift certificate to a fish store.
Yeah. The gauge, it's like a signal strength gauge on the front of a CB. The closer you are, the more it'll go up.
Hello, Pennywise. Oh yeah, GRB. I have hissing cockroaches, and I tried springtails as a cleanup crew, but the springtails didn't make it in the mail. And I went to a store in the closest big town, and I talked to the guy, and he said that the dairy cow isopods would be a good choice to put in with the hissing roaches. And I kind of fell in love with the isopods, so I'm getting some powder blues, and then some, I can't pronounce it, but they're versicolors.
I gotta say, I can't hold it in anymore. I know it's your stream, but this is worth it. How you doing, retarded? What's up? It's his name. I'm just saying his name.
You know, I've never ridden a foxtrotter. I have ridden a Paso de Fino. And I almost bought a Clydesdale once, but I had dreams of calling up farriers and saying, I need my horseshoe. And them showing up and just laughing and getting in their trucks and driving away. And then me realizing that instead of a 4 or 5 inch across shoe, we were dealing with something that was a foot across. And unless you warn the farrier, there's no way they're going to be able to put shoes on a Clydesdale.
Man, the trolls love you, Kev.
Mm-hmm. You notice that, huh?
Can I play along?
I was going to say we could kill them. It is tourist season.
That
Okay,
confused the hell out of me, Posiwi. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Thank you. At least I'm not the only one.
Okay, in New Mexico, when it's tourist, we sell bumper stickers out here that say, "Hey, it's tourist season. Let's go hunting." Because those of us who don't like tourists just want to shoot them and make them go away. Okay, I'm really jealous. When I moved away from here for 5 years ago, I had to get rid of my horse. And I don't have another one, and I probably shouldn't be riding anyway. But I miss my horse.
Wait, this was only 5 years ago?
Yeah. I went from, in fact, I looked. It was like 8 years ago I was doing dog rescue. So 8 years ago I could lift a bale of hay, wrestle with big dogs, set up a bunch of crates, move them in and out of the van to do dog rescue. And now, well, I know I couldn't lift a bale of hay. I could barely lift a crate. And it's like in the short space of 8 years, I have fallen apart. But it won't stop me because at heart, I'm 16 years old and I'll go on forever.
Posiwi is like the Energizer Bunny. She keeps going and going and going.
I have a big stuffed Energizer bunny. I have bananas in pajamas and the sneaky rat stuffed toys.
How Makasaki Chua Chua.
I bet his gait is really nice. Yay! GRB news! Bananas in pajamas. They're coming down the stairs. I used to love bananas in pajamas.
Oh, Posiwi, don't quit your day job.
Oh, I can't sing worth shit.
There, are you happy, Kevin? I'm picking on someone other than you for once. You happy?
Yeah, that's a first.
By the way, clean your messy ass room. Hey, you knew it wasn't going to last forever.
It's not all that bad.
At least you could see the floor.
Now he can. A couple days ago, he couldn't. Because I actually mentioned that. I said, "Oh my God, I can see the floor in front of your tanks here."
Yes, and I told you that was because I was setting up the mud skipper tank.
You need to do a video of
Is
putting the mud skipper in the mud skipper tank after you give him a name.
Yeah, I mean, come on. What's his name yet? Have you figured that out yet? Kevin, that was a question for you.
No, I have not. Have not figured one out yet.
That's cool. My let's see, second. Okay, my last horse was actually only 14 hands, and I got him from a woman who, if I didn't know how filming works, I would have called. I think the reality show was called The Best Trail Horse. I got him from a lady who it took her 20 minutes to catch him in the pen. He was terrified of being brushed. She gave me his harness and said, I'd give you the cart, but he rammed it into a telephone pole. This woman she should not have had horses. And then I found out that he was stolen off the Dulce Reservation because my mom has a lot of friends up there, and they let me keep him because they know my mom real well. And when I couldn't keep him anymore, they took him back. And my horse before that, yeah, I had a 17-hand thoroughbred Appaloosa. He was an awesome horse. But the horse before that was a Mustang, and my son's horse had died, so we went to the auction, and I said, okay, you can pick out a horse. And it was Friday the 13th, and he picked out this huge black mare and named her Stormy. And she was awesome. She was a really good horse. And who knows, if I get rich, maybe I'll buy another horse. I really miss having horses. I'd even take a pony just to have a pony.
Why not just get a service pony, Posiwi?
If I ever got rich, I would build a huge cage in a single room and just do cockatiels in the whole room.
Okay.
The first cockatiel I ever bought, I used to be able to, I never had to clip its wings. I used to be able to go outside and let him fly around in the air, and he would always come back. Because it bonded to me. The other ones I got bonded with each other and me. So I didn't let them out. But the original one I got could go outside anytime he wanted. He used to have full roam of the house.
When I lived in California, I had a pink pony, and it actually got stolen. And the police department just didn't seem to think it was important. Oh, my nieces who are moving out to Missouri may be getting a bunch of miniature Highlanders to breed.
Wait, are you talking about who I think
We're
you're talking
talking.
about now?
We're talking
Casey?
about cows now.
Are you
I'm
talking about
talking.
Cassie? Casey?
Oh, I am responding to Freaky Fish Lady. We were talking about horses. We're girls.
Yes, but you said that your what was it, cousins or nieces? We're
Kevin,
we're,
real quick, whenever you're done talking, say over. Seriously, there's a method to our madness.
Look at that face. Yeah, right. That we think we're on the CB. Miniature Highlander calves are really cool. They're miniature cows. And from what I remember, they're furry. But my nieces, the ones you met, Casey, at the Pet Hill.
that's what I just asked. If it was Casey.
Yes. Yes, it's Casey. They're going to be getting.
Just asked if it was her and her sister who were getting them.
Yes. They're going to be breeding several at-risk breeds of livestock and I'm sure birds.
Has she moved yet? I'm assuming not, but
I actually think that they're out of the house, and yes, Casey should be in Missouri now because they were bouncing on inflatable couches in the house, and she was with her sister, so she has to be in Missouri now. I guess I could ask them, but I'm pretty sure that they're here now.
Kevin, I'll explain. The reason we're saying over, Posiwi's microphone is picking up her speakers, and that's what is causing the echo.
Yes, I know. But if I'm done talking and I don't say anything for a few seconds, doesn't that
You could just be pausing. You could just be pausing. That's why
like
when you're done, you say over.
Or like me, pausing to cough my lungs out.
Yeah, and like me, to cough my lungs out too. We had a system and it was working perfectly until you showed up, Kevin.
Except I keep forgetting to say over.
Well, see, you don't have to.
I haven't heard Roundhouse say it once, except when he's telling me to. Over.
I guess we bored the trolls. That's pretty good.
Kevin scared him away. Over.
Why are you always blaming me for shit? Over.
Well, that's a good thing. Oh man, Big Boss Man's here. We got to get the hell out of here. That's what they said. Actually, what they said was, "Oh crap, Canine Kid's here. Better jet." Over.
You know, it's really amazing how I can read the chat, and I totally didn't realize that it had timestamps until I looked and I thought, man, it's almost 3:00 in the morning. I missed dinner. Over.
3:51 a.m. Central Daylight Time at the sound of the beep. Beep. Over.
1:52 Pacific Standard Time. 1:52 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Over.
It's going to be really nice when Hosiwi gets the headphones over.
I have to go to the store tomorrow. I will buy headphones and we will try it with headphones. Over.
Well, you don't have to say over,
You don't-
Hosiwi, because we just see you mute. Over.
Wouldn't a microphone be better? Over.
No, over.
Over.
No, because it's all contained in the camera. Or the microphone is in the camera. And the speakers are in my monitor. So if I plug in headphones, I just change it over to using the headphones rather than the speakers. I think I have that right.
The speaker
I
should
didn't
cut
say
off automatically.
over.
Sorry, I got excited. I was trying to help you. Over.
I'd love coffee, but both of the guys are asleep, so I just have to wait until the morning.
So, Freaky Fish Lady says, you make it too easy, Kevin. And kind of right. Over.
Really, Roundhouse? That's your excuse? I make it too easy?
Well, you do. I mean, there's a lot of times where you open both windows and the door.
Open both windows and the door. What?
You've never heard that expression? You open the door on that one?
Oh, I got that. How?
Well, you open the windows too.
No, I don't. At least I don't think so. But hey, what do I know? Don't answer that, Roundhouse. Over.
Again, you open the door and the windows.
I know nothing and I don't answer questions.
I plead the fifth, question mark.
I asked my cousin who now lives in London and is she gave up her United States citizenship. I asked her if she still smoked weed, and she said, I plead the fifth. And I said, by pleading the fifth, that means that you're guilty. Over.
No, it doesn't. It covers you do not have to talk to the police. You do not have to answer their questions. And what's our favorite saying, Posiwi? Am I free to go? Yes. Well, if I'm free to go, I'm free to stay.
Why would you want to stay? Over?
When you're videotaping the police, you want to finish videotaping the police. They'll come out and hassle you because, you can't take pictures and da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, well, at the end, it's, okay, well, am I still being detained? No, you're free to go. Well, if I'm free to go, I'm free to stay and keep, doing videotape. Or what do they call it? They don't call it videotaping anymore. Videoing. Recording.
And don't forget, we're on a public sidewalk.
Which is a public right-of-way. You don't necessarily have to be on a sidewalk. You just got to be on a public right-of-way, which is next to every single road in America.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna end it in like 3 minutes. We've been going for 4 hours, although I've been gone for half of it.
You had a good excuse, though. So keep a good eye on Fender. Tell him he's not supposed to eat grapes.
Doesn't mean he'll listen.
I'll even give you this one, Kevin. You left your stream for a good reason. So this won't count against you.
Gee, thanks.
Okay, Kevin, mark it down.
Yep, mark it all down. I'm giving Kevin a pass.
Oh, I've got it recorded. I've got it recorded.
Wait, this is live?
Shut up, Roundhouse.
I didn't know this was live.
Is
You're
it
gonna have
live?
to delete this.
Is it live or is it Memorex?
Wow, I remember those commercials too. Holy cow. I mean, shit, I remember the little black and white dog and RCA logo. We're looking into the phonograph.
Yeah, that was way before my time. All right, well, I think I'm gonna shut her down. Thank you guys for coming. Thanks for entertaining for me, and I will see you guys all tomorrow, where I have Rico stand, or I guess later today, where I have Rico stand on.
Ah, cool.
Have fun, y'all.
Okay, what time so I make sure that I'm awake by then?
9 your time.
In the morning?
PM.
Oh, thank goodness. It was great talking to you, Ficky Fish Lady,
Yeah, it would be
and everybody else who's still here. And
Thank you.
it was no problem keeping people entertained. And give Fender a big hug and pet from me.
I will. Thank you.
And I will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Thanks, everyone.